Not long ago, the idea that Delhi could turn into a gas chamber was dismissed as dark humor. We laughed about it, but today, the jokes feel uncomfortably close to the truth. People in the national capital are breathing air that is officially classified as hazardous. AQI levels are soaring, flights are spotting events and being cancelled altogether. Clinics and hospitals are reporting a surge in patients with breathing trouble, burning eyes, chest tightness. Those who can afford it are leaving the city, heading to the hills in search of clean air. For millions of others, there is simply no escape. How can you escape the air? Not even global icons are immune. Lionel Messi's visit renewed focus on Delhi's air, where stepping outdoor can be equivalent to smoking multiple cigarettes there. Before him, the American entrepreneur, Brian Johnson, walked out midway from one of the podcasts, unable to tolerate the toxic air, even with air purifiers running indoors. Now, on paper, at the moment, the strictest anti-pollution curb, that is GRAP 4, is in force. On the ground, construction continues, violations are visible, enforcement appears uneven at max, just not enough. Even the Supreme Court has repeatedly flagged the failure of governance. Yet the air remains absolutely poisonous. Public frustration is mounting. People want answers, they want action. Inside Parliament, however, the House sat long enough to pass the bill that they wanted, and then it was dismissed. Tomorrow is the last day of the winter session, which should ideally have been what I think a pollution session. But no debates, no statements, no plan yet. The government behaves as if all is well when actually all is hell in Delhi right now. So that's the reality that we live with. But like we said, it's not a commentary piece that we've got for you over here. We actually went down on the streets of the national capital to figure out what exactly is the status of implementation of GRAP 4. GRAP 4, remember, which is said to be the strictest way in which we can curb and bring down the air pollution levels. It restricts construction activities. It also restricts certain kind of vehicles entering, also asks people to work from home, schools to be shut. But is that implementation really happening? GRAP 4 norms are officially in force in Delhi, the toughest set of any anti-pollution measures on paper. But the real question that we are raising today is it really being followed? On the ground, what we are seeing tells a very different story. Across the city, commuters are struggling to access fuel. Traffic congestion has actually worsened at multiple choke points, and the confusion sort of reigns over what is allowed, what isn't, nobody knows. The government insists that enforcement is strict and uniform. GRAP 4 rules are being implemented without exception, but India today did the test. Our SIT team went across the national capital to check the reality on the streets, not the files, and what we found raises serious questions. Watch for yourself.
These visuals are not just disturbing, they are proof of the open betrayal of Delhi. Captured just kilometers from the Supreme Court, they expose who is poisoning Delhi's air under the cover of darkness. When India Today hit the ground at night to check the reality of GRAP 4, the truth was shocking. In the heart of New Delhi, government orders were treated like scrap paper. A cement mixer, which is banned under GRAP 4, was found to be freely roaming in Sarojini Nagar. Inside the site, machines were running, lights were on, RNC plants were operational, pumping dust and poison into Delhi's air. But the moment our cameras appeared, workers fled, machines were shut down, and lights went off instantly.
क्या ला रहे हो? सीमेंट है। सीमेंट तो अभी बैन है दिल्ली में लाना। जी बोले यहाँ ला के खड़ी कर दो। कहाँ से लाए हो? ये दादरी। दादरी से ले आए, दिल्ली में किसी ने नहीं रोका?
नहीं रोका, किसी ने बोले वहाँ जाके गाड़ी खड़ी करनी है।
कहाँ चल रहा है कंस्ट्रक्शन का काम? क्यों भाई?
कोई काम नहीं चल रहा सर।
ये ट्रक कैसे आ गया?
ये मेरा थोड़ी है, उन्हीं का है।
किनका है? जैसे हम यहाँ पर पहुँचे कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट पर, लोग हमें देखकर भागने लगे। सब लोग ने यहाँ पर लाइट बंद कर दी और देखते ही देखते पूरी साइड से सारे लोग ऐसे भाग गए जैसे कि यहाँ पर कोई था ही नहीं। रात को यहाँ पर भूत काम कर रहे थे और हमने खुद यहाँ पर एक सीमेंट के ट्रक को अंदर आते हुए पकड़ा और उसी का पीछा करते करते हम इस साइड पर आए। दिल्ली में ग्रैप 4 लगा हुआ है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी इन साइटों पर काम चल रहा है सरकार की ठीक नाक के नीचे। ये नई दिल्ली का इलाका है। कहाँ घूम रहे हो रात को?
काम कर रहे थे सर।
काम हो रहा था ना यहाँ पर?
हाँ, आज तो हो रहा था।
सब ये लाइट बंद करके क्यों भाग गए एकदम से?
कौन? मुझे पता नहीं।
आज ही
The question is simple. Who allowed work during GRAP 4 and who looked away? At another site nearby, tractors ferried rubble, JCBs operated, trucks hid their number plates in a clear attempt to erase identity. Even worse, guards were burning wood to keep warm, adding smoke to an already toxic night.
कहाँ ले जा रहे हो?
वहाँ से फिट कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे।
रात को प्लांट कैसे चला रखा है? प्लांट कैसे चला रखा है?
बंद है।
गार्ड तुमको ये इन्होंने हीटर नहीं दिया? क्यों?
मिलने वाला है।
कब से काम चल रहा है रात में यहाँ?
रात में काम नहीं चल रहा है।
कंपनी वो नहीं देती है हीटर?
कंपनी तो नहीं दिया है सर।
साइड पे देख सकते हैं कि साफ दिख रहा है कि पोल्यूशन का स्तर क्या है। उसके बावजूद भी चोरी छिपे इस साइड के अंदर काम चल रहा है और कोई कहने सुनने वाला नहीं है। हमने खुद ट्रैक्टर ट्रॉली को रोडिया शिफ्ट करते हुए देखा, अंदर जेसीबी चलते हुए देखा। ये भी वरिंदा कंस्ट्रक्शन की साइट है और इससे पहले भी जो साइट थी वो भी वरिंदा कंस्ट्रक्शन की साइट थी। गार्ड साफ साफ झूठ बोल रहे हैं कि यहाँ पर काम नहीं चल रहा है। सबको पता काम चल रहा है।
This is not just one site. From Sarojini Nagar to Netaji Nagar, the same story repeats. Behind tall sheets, construction continued in secrecy. The violations didn't stop there. At midnight at the Delhi-Noida border, police checks appeared to be strict. Only BS6 and CNG vehicles were allowed. Construction material was completely banned. On paper, enforcement looked airtight, but the ground reality told a different story. Despite the ban, BS4 trucks were found to be freely moving inside Delhi.
क्या उतार गया है?
20 रोड़ी। रोड़ी
तो तेरे को दिल्ली में घुसने दे दिया? कहाँ से?
कापा से वहाँ
Similar free runs for polluting trucks were seen at Ames and Shada. So the question isn't just about violation. Can this happen without criminal collusion? With Nitin Jain and video journalist Emmanuel, Bureau Report, India Today.
We in fact took that investigation to Delhi's Environment Minister and Mr. Majinder Sirsa. He's appeared on this program earlier as well, and he said that he's shocked at what he's seeing in the investigation over there. We'll take strict action is what he's saying against the culprits as well. But how exactly will that take place? Let me cut across now to in fact all right, I'm told that we've got a live reaction coming in. Joining me next is DK Gupta, Additional CP Traffic. He joins us on the phone line. Mr. Gupta, thank you so much for speaking with us here at India Today. I just want to understand from you, we just played out an investigation done by our colleagues here at India Today and Aaj Tak, the SIT team, and they are seeing violations of GRAP 4 happen at different levels, from construction sites to burning that is happening to PUC norms not there. How exactly do you see that?
Ma'am, as per the orders of GRAP 4 has been announced, we have deployed staff at all the borders, and our staff is deployed round the clock, and they are checking, and we are trying to that all GRAP 4 norms should be properly followed, and any vehicles violating the traffic will be prosecuted. For that, we will deploy the internal staff inside Delhi also, and we have deployed on the Pakas vans of PCRs also. Our motorcycles are also patrolling. Our officers, they are in the field. They are trying to ensure that GRAP 4 norms should be fully complied, and any violation noticed will be prosecuted.
Mr. Kumar, what we are seeing in our investigation is very, very clear. It's a blatant violation. It took one night of just roaming around the streets of Delhi for our reporters to figure out massive violations. This should have ideally been done by the police.
As I've told you, our staff has been totally fully deployed round the clock, and we are watching, keeping watch on every violation noticed in our in any part of Delhi, and we are monitoring from the highest level. It has been monitored, so we are trying our best that no violation should be done, and any violation, if noticed, will be prosecuted.
Sir, but there seems to be massive slips happening all over, from construction sites to vehicles which should not be allowed, to PUCs missing, to burning that is taking place, to construction happening in the middle of the night with lights switched off. How can this be escaping Delhi police?
Ma'am, we are all, any complaint which we are receiving, and we are on the totally alert mode, and we will taking action. And any complaint we receive, we are actively acting on that thing, and we are taking action.
All right, we leave it there. Additional Commissioner Traffic there, Dinesh Kumar, giving us assurances. I'm not sure how much of it is actually going to translate into what's happening on the ground. But let's go back to that breaking that came to us a little while ago. Reactions to that India Today investigations now coming in from the political class as well. This time from the Delhi's Environment Minister, Mr. Majinder Singh Sirsa. He said that they will take strict action against the culprits. Well, that's on expected lines, but how was this even allowed in the first place? Let's listen in to the minister.
बिल्कुल एक अभी आपने अगर बताया तो इस पे भी अभी मैं डालकर और कमिश्नर साहब से हिदायत दूंगा कि अगर कोई भी जेई के एरिया में ऐसी कंस्ट्रक्शन पाएगी तो उसको तुरंत उस जेई को सस्पेंड किया जाएगा। ये बर्दाश्त नहीं किया जा सकता। दिल्ली की सेहत के साथ जो लोग खिलवाड़ करें उनको माफ नहीं किया जा सकता।
Politicians are saying we will take action. Cops are saying we will also ensure it's all done. But what exactly is happening on the ground? Let's get a reality check. My colleague Milan Sharma joins us now for the very latest. Milan, is it on expected lines? Should we even be shocked at what's happening? Like these flouting of rules, even with GRAP 3 and GRAP 2 we saw were happening earlier on. GRAP 4 has not changed things at all. One night of cameras going around and reporters of Aaj Tak and India Today going out on the streets, we were able to find at least 6 to 7 violations. The cops and the politicians can't even see one.
Well, the implementation is where the onus keeps shifting from one person to the other. The Traffic Police Commissioner is responsible to deploy police everywhere, but the police is supposed to go and check and catch these culprits. And why a suo motu action is not taken? Because I heard the gentleman and he said when a complaint will come to us, we will take action. Why should a citizen then go forward and lodge a complaint, find out something like this and then lodge a complaint? Why can't you take suo motu action? Similarly, in a protocol that has been listed, we usually complain to the CAQM if we see a violation. The SIT team took one day to do this fantastic investigation showing internal source of pollution, which is construction, and completely banned under GRAP 4 is happening in the dead of the night. And with collusion perhaps from the authorities, because the area in charge, it's impossible that he won't know that such a construction has happened. There are cement mixers and etc. that are being allowed inside the borders of Delhi, which is completely banned. There are police manning the borders. So certainly the internal source of pollution that we can contain easily is not being done, even despite the deployment of authorities, even despite the Supreme Court saying, various things, as well as the CAQM activation on ground. And that is why the AQI levels of Delhi remains in the severe to very long.
All right, Milan there pointing out all those violations that should have been checked beforehand by the police but completely missed. What is it lacking? Is it lacking political will? Is it lacking in intentions? What exactly is the case here? But talking about political will, let's shift the story and take it to Parliament. It is the winter session, the second last day of the winter session, where it should have been a pollution session, but not a single minute has been taken out to discuss pollution. Today, the government, in fact, had said that we will discuss pollution, but after passing of just one bill, it was then the day's session was called off. So is the intention again there missing? Aishwarya Paliwal, my colleague, joining us for the very latest. Aishwarya, we've been discussing the issue of pollution throughout this entire winter session. We've come to the lag end now. Last day left tomorrow. What is the hope that this will even come up for discussion on the last day of the winter session, which, like I said, should ideally have been a pollution session dedicated to finding solutions?
Well, so, you will not be happy with my answer, but I highly doubt that, we will have a discussion on pollution, because if, the government really wanted to do it, then today was a good time, because we did see how the parliament session was on till almost 2 a.m. And what we were told, we were all on the ground last night, that there will be at least 4 hours under Rule 193 that we will have the discussion. And Bhupendra Yadav, who's the environment minister, he will tell the floor of the parliament and the country at large what exactly the government is looking at doing. Let me tell you, I met almost all those MPs who were supposed to speak, and they all had folders in their hands. They all had come prepared. Even Priyanka Gandhi Vadra was prepared with regards to what she wanted to say. Masuri Swaraj from the BJP, who's also an MP from the national capital, she also was prepared. But then we suddenly saw, as soon as the VBG Ramji bill was passed, the House was adjourned till 11 a.m. Tomorrow is the last day, Sonal. And I doubt it. We have not got any information from the BJP or from the Lok Sabha so far that there will be a discussion. I highly doubt that in this session we will see a discussion on the burning issue of pollution. Sonal.
All right, that's just really, really terrible, isn't it, Aishwarya? That the entire time, even after promising, they've not managed to sort of take out that time. In the middle of that, Aam Aadmi Party, you see pictures over there posting a sort of skid on the ground trying to raise the issue of pollution. When they were in power, they also passed the buck. This government is also passing the buck back at the Aam Aadmi Party, saying this is the problem they have inherited. Of course you've inherited this problem. This is the problem all of us have inherited. You are the government in power. You've got to get some, answers here. Get us the solutions here. But clearly, we are not hearing any of it. We will also be joined in some time now with all the parliamentarians. We reached out to them to try and understand what exactly keeps them away. Do they not understand the issue of pollution? Or is it a problem of not understanding answers here? Is there no intent or is there no understanding? What exactly is wrong? Let's try and see if we've got those parliamentarians up as well. Sushmita Dev, the parliamentarian from TMC. Screen right now. On one side, you see the parliament behaving as if all is well, and outside those doors of the parliament, you see the hell that we all live with in the northern part of the country. At least 60% of the country faces bad air. The most impacted are in metros, including that of the national capital. But clearly, that's not been enough. A cricket match got postponed. There have been several concerts by singers which have been gotten postponed, including Rekha Bharadwaj, including that of Palash Sen. Also, there have been flights that are delayed. Even the Prime Minister's flight was delayed, all thanks to the smog. People are lining up the hospitals to try and understand and get some help. But our MPs, well, all is well for them. They seem to be in a clean air cocoon inside Parliament, inside their homes. They can afford the air purifiers. Perhaps the reason why they simply do not think it's important enough to address it now. Piyush Mishra joins us for the very latest now. Piyush, take us through what has been your understanding of this entire Parliament session simply not caring about pollution.
Well, there's no doubt that parliamentarians do not care about the health of people of the country, and that's why we did not see any kind of debate taking place. Yes, there were some from the opposition parties who wanted to have a discussion on this, and we also saw as to how the protest was taken out by the opposition MPs, but the debate on this could not take place. There are different versions, those are now coming out from BJP MPs, NDA MPs, and also from India Bloc and Congress MPs. What is happening, Sonal, is that when we asked from BJP MPs as to why today, when the debate on pollution was scheduled to take place, why it could not take place, then they blame opposition MPs. They say that because opposition created ruckus, debate could not happen. And when we ask from the opposition MPs as to why they did not let the parliament to function smoothly, then they say that government intention somewhere suggests that it does not want to have any kind of discussion on pollution. So blame game continues, but at the end of the day, it's the people of not only Delhi, but across NCR region and largely in the northern part of the country who are at the receiving end because there is no solution which the government is looking forward to provide to the people of country.
You're right, Piyush, but help us understand what happened in Parliament today. We thought that the government was embarrassed after the messy event when Rekha Gupta hi chants, AQI chants, boos were heard. And that's when they really sort of shook them into action. We saw GRAP 4 implemented the next day. Then we saw the match getting cancelled in Lucknow. In Lucknow, imagine, not even Delhi, where AQI was so poor that they had to cancel the match. We've got, several concerts getting cancelled in Delhi as well. This used to be the best time of the year to be in Delhi, right? And you see, time after time that we have now just been forced to stay indoors. But, and that's when, after all of that, the government said, okay, let's discuss it on the floor of the House. But what happened today? Why couldn't this be taken up?
Well, Sonal, there's no doubt that it's a huge embarrassment for multiple state governments, be it about Delhi government or UP government or about certainly itself for the central government. But what happened today? Let us tell to our viewers what transpired in Parliament. Remember that Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the Union Minister for Agriculture and Rural Development, he was speaking on the reply on the Ramji bill, and while he was replying, after that, we saw when he started speaking, various opposition MPs came in the well and they started raising slogans saying Mahatma Gandhi ka apman nahi sahega Hindustan, because they were of the view that the government, the central government, is disrespecting the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi. It continued for around half an hour or so, where they continued to raise slogans. They were there in the well, but Shivraj Singh Chouhan continued to speak. While he was speaking, we also saw a few MPs tore some papers, and they, threw these papers there in the well of the House towards the Treasury bench, and that really created a lot of ruckus. But we were also expecting media persons sitting in our media room that soon after the reply of Shivraj Singh Chouhan, there will be a discussion on the pollution. But due to continuous ruckus and the kind of sloganeering which was taking place in Lok Sabha, Om Birla, Lok Sabha Speaker, he was forced to adjourn the House till tomorrow because the House was not at all in order. Remember that the government was very much of the view that, okay, we are ready to have a discussion under Rule 193, where the discussion was all said to be initiated by Priyanka Gandhi. And this basic discussion basically was, taking place on the request of three MPs from different political parties, Priyanka Gandhi, Kanimoy, and Shivraj. They are from three different political parties, and Priyanka Gandhi was to speak in the initial time of a discussion, but that did not happen because of the continuous ruckus, and following which we
Sure.
saw House getting adjourned for the entire day.
All right, Piyush, we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, let's take this discussion forward with the politicians now. Joining us next is Dr. Anil Gupta. He is an MLA for Delhi BJP. He seems to be outside on the streets of the capital right now. Dr. Gupta, हवा कैसी लग रही है इस समय आपको?
Today it is not bad as it was there day before yesterday. Because of the wind condition, I think slightly the AQI has improved. Today, what I've seen from the CPCB, it is roughly 350. But it is still not good, but better than the previous days.
350 is not bad. That's what we've come down to. The permissible limit is 50. At 350, countries shut down. They coop everybody inside their homes, ask them not to do anything. And look, I mean, how can you say it's not bad? But, you know, Dr. Gupta, the thing is that the BJP in Delhi fought this entire last election on the issue of pollution. You said that Arvind Kejriwal keeps making excuses. He passes the buck to other states. Vote for us because BJP here in the center, at the central level and at the state level, ये double engine की सरकार हम सब साफ कर देंगे. क्या साफ किया आपने?
You remember in the last 10 years when Kejriwal was ruling Delhi, he was not on the field. And if you see the present Chief Minister, Shrimati Rekha Gupta ji, she is always on the move, right since morning to evening. She is always taking care of all the things of Delhi, seeing all the projects, working very hard on this. And this is the difference. And if you compare the data of air quality index previous year to this year, I cannot say it is good, but still, if you compare, it is still better. We have a difference of 50 to 60 points in AQI. You can check all the records. And now we are working on the field. You know, already the source has been identified. Already the dust mitigation is in. You know, we are working very hard.
But Dr. Gupta, 50 points down is not an achievement. It's the weather playing its role. 50 points down today, it will be 200 up tomorrow. That's the weather doing tricks. That's nothing that your government has done.
See, day before yesterday, it was 450. Today, it is less than 350. Wind speed plays a role. I am a technical in this thing, but we must appreciate the work being done by Delhi government. I am admitting the full-fledged things have not been done, but things have started. You know, if you allow me, I can give you so many points. You know, for dust mitigation, the mechanical sweeping is done. For sprinkling is done. Mist spray is done. New forests are being constructed, but cleaning the air is not a one-day job. It takes 2-3 years. And one more thing, for the long term, for this vehicle, you know, already GRAP 4 is in enforcement. Already less than BS6, the antis has been banned. So many measures are there. You don't get diesel or petrol without the PUC certificates. All these measures are there, but still
Dr.
they are the
Gupta.
emergency measures, I must admit. But we have to work more. And already Delhi government has made an expert committee of the renowned scientists
Dr.
of the
Gupta,
country,
you
including
mentioned
IITs
you
and
mentioned
other
GRAP 4. Let
institutions.
me come to that then. You mentioned GRAP 4, so I'm asking now. Our investigation at India Today says and shows very, very clearly that those GRAP 4 measures are being flouted left, right, and center. There are people who are constructing at the night, switching off the lights. There are people who are burning, coal and other things at night. There are trucks who are entering Delhi without PUCs when they should not be allowed. You name it. How is this, going to work if you're going to be so weak on implementation? And now you can't make an excuse. The police is also under the BJP, under the Home Minister only now, right?
You may be right and you may not be correct. Both way, I explain you. Delhi has a good population. It has a population of more than 3 crores. Plus, lot of daily users are there who visit Delhi regularly. Today is the first day for the enforcement sort of these measures. Already measures have been taken, but there may be some teeth. The citizen of Delhi, the citizen of NCR need to be educated. They need to be told about the implication of all these things. And we are working. You know, in one day we cannot have the full-fledged enforcement. It is, we have the manpower constraint also, but things will be in order. Let's assure the things have started. And there are some cases when people say, what will happen to the taxis which are not BS6? So as a responsible, as a sensible government has to take care of all the stakeholders. But things have started working.
Dr. Gupta, a sensible, responsible government should have prepared for the winter. Did you prepare for the winter? Was there a pollution plan that kicked off 3-4 months before so you could, mitigate all these things, all the weather patterns? What really comes to mind at this point is that Delhi government has woken up into action only after the booing that took place at the messy event for Rekha Gupta. It's only after the Delhi Chief Minister was embarrassed that some measures have been started now.
No, it is not correct. Let me again give you some data. When Rekha Gupta government took the power of Delhi, we had the capacity of processing garbage for 10,000. Now it has been increased to 15,000. The C&D collection was maximum 5,000 tons per day. Now it has been increased to 10,000. The waste to energy plants were hardly 3-4. Now it has been increased to 5. The hazardous waste disposal site is in place. The Delhi has a road network of 28,000, more than that. The mechanical sweepings were footing. First time in the history of Delhi, the cleaning with the water of all this ring road has been done. So many measures is there. But if but I must admit, you have a right to say because AQI is not down as people have anticipated. But it is not a one-day job,
But Dr. Gupta, the Delhi Chief Minister today has become a meme. She does not understand AQI. Isn't that so embarrassing for the government that the Chief Minister of the national capital, a capital where the biggest issue at the moment is the pollution, does not know what AQI is, does not understand AQI?
See, we must appreciate the 24/7 working of the lady. I mean, nobody has given her credit when the air was in good condition from February to August. When AQI was less than 200, the credit
But
should
that
have been
it
given.
was last year's also. That is no credit to your government. How can you say that?
No. If you compare the figures, I have all the data. From February, some weather also favors. It was because of the working. When the Chhat Puja was celebrated with funfair, Yamuna, nobody gives the credit. The person who works always gets criticism. Always get criticism.
Oh, let's not get started on Chhat Puja and that artificial pond that was created. We all saw that. That was the biggest farce that anybody with 2 eyes can really see. But Dr. Gupta, I have to let you go now. I have to say this in the end. The kids of the national capital, senior citizens, they are dying a slow death because of the inaction of the government. How is it that now when everything is in sync politically, we are not being able to find solutions? You have the best minds in the country who are offering help. You have other countries now offering help. This is an international embarrassment, a national failure. We are looking up to people like you to find solutions, and I really, really hope that the government will wake up and there will be some action plan that is floated.
Last point, if you allow me, I request all the responsible citizens must give their feedback and recommendation to the expert committee which Delhi government has made so that we can have a better and clean Delhi next year.
All right, let's do that. Let's urge all Delhiites to send their solutions and what they think should be done to the doorstep of the Delhi Chief Minister. Let's get her all the help that we can, and let's see if that sort of translates into some action. For the moment, I'll have to thank Mr. Gupta for joining us with the very latest on that. But it's not just the ruling governing party. The pollution debate not picking up in Parliament has got to do with the opposition as well. Joining me next is Sushmita Dev. She's a member of Parliament from the TMC. Ms. Dev, 0 hours or 0 minutes, in fact, have been dedicated to pollution inside Parliament. This should have been a pollution session. Your MPs created ruckus and the debate could not happen. Aren't you embarrassed that an important issue like this could not be picked up?
See, it's extremely upsetting that, Delhi being the capital and the fact that we come as parliamentarians from different parts of the country and we coming to Delhi to face the kind of pollution that we do. We have seen people protest at India Gate, get arrested. And despite that, the way and the manner and the extent to which the problem of pollution should have been debated was totally sabotaged this time in Parliament. After giving us, the opposition, an assurance that it would be debated, it wasn't debated. I myself moved a notice day before in Rajya Sabha to debate it, even though for a short duration. That was not accepted, and it reflects very poorly if the legislature cannot address the burning issues of a city in which we all meet at least 3 times a year to make public policy. So it's very disappointing, but I can tell you that various notices have been moved by us in Parliament, which was not entertained by the government.
But Sushmita Dev, has the opposition done its due? We saw protests on SIR. We saw protests on other issues. You really pushed the government into taking up matters. You've managed to get debates in, previously. Why not on pollution? Did you do your due?
You see, SIR protest was also necessary because it is threatening a democratic process. So I cannot pitch one issue against the other. Both are equally important for the people of India. But yes, I accede to the point that the government could have easily given us 3 or 4 hours of debate in the pollution. See, it is not good enough to simply raise the issue, although Mr. Gandhi did in Lok Sabha, because we don't get a reply. We don't know what the government is thinking about it. So this session has definitely not done any justice to the opposition issues, and least of all to the issue of pollution in Delhi.
So, Sushmita Dev, the attitude that I hear of politicians, and this is across party lines, from BJP to Congress to Aam Aadmi Party to TMC to several others as well, I feel like politicians are too privileged to care about pollution. Is that the case? Because you are in Parliament where the air is clean, you can afford air purifiers, people on the streets cannot. Are politicians too privileged to care?
Not at all. We all have children at home. We all have aging parents at home. We ourselves are breathing this air. And we have no choice. We've seen government after government come and say, we are going to solve this problem, but it's not being solved. And, some things are above politics. And pollution is one such issue. And what we should have ideally done in Parliament this time is put our heads together to see that what is the solution. It's an emergency, if you like. It's an environmental emergency. And believe you me, there are a lot of negotiations that take place in the back channels, and we tried our very best to push it through, to debate it, but somehow the government did not relent. They listed it today in Lok Sabha, but they did not, they simply adjourned the House after passing the amendment to the NREGS Act.
But Sushmita Dev, I have to ask you this. It's not just Delhi where the air is bad. West Bengal also has terrible air. In Kolkata, AQI goes above 300 in festival seasons, during Pujo, the minute, the weather patterns don't permit. What are you doing to clean up the air in West Bengal, in Kolkata, where you are in power?
The NDA makes everything an issue to win an election. But after election, when they are sitting in the seat of power, or where they are on the side where they are governing, and when they don't have answers, they don't want to debate it. No inconvenient issue which doesn't suit the BJP, they don't want to debate it. That's the reality. That's why we are constantly saying that the two houses of parliament have become, two dark chambers where all that happens is bulldozing and bullying. And, it's
Is
even
about
worse
TMC.
to see people saying, oh, this is wastage of public money when you all protest. Why do we protest inside parliament? We protest because they do not relent to the topics that we want. Repeatedly, we move notices. If you were to study very carefully the proceedings in the House, they don't entertain it. It's as simple as that. It's on record.
Ms. Dev. Come on, Ms. Dev. My question is entirely different. I'm trying to understand from you, what have you done in Kolkata to clean the air? You're pulling up Kejriwal now. You are saying you're passing the buck exactly how he did. How can you not take ownership for the air, at least in Kolkata?
I'm sorry, there are I don't know if you're aware, not just Kolkata, various industrial cities like even Asansol have very strict laws about industrialization in residential areas. So I think, that allegation is misplaced, and environment is everybody's joint responsibility. Today, even people have to contribute to it, just like the government has to contribute to it. To say, I will not allow this, BS6 fuel vehicles, that's a knee-jerk reaction. This is happening because there's no concerted effort. I'm on your side when it comes to this. I mean, it may help you to point a finger at me. Absolutely, you have every right to do that in a democracy. But the fact is, if there can be high-powered committees on important issues like GST, like other taxation issues, why can't there be a national forum or a high-powered committee on environment where Bengal, Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, all other states should come together and discuss it? There's no harm. We are open to suggestions. But that effort has to be made by the central government.
Effort, I think, has to be made at every level, including the states level, because this is not a Delhi problem. This is a 60% of India problem, and we need solutions for that 60% of India. But I have to thank you there, Ms. Dev, for joining us with your views on that. Let's cut across now to one more guest that we have for you on the program. Joining us next is Congress MP Deepender Hooda. Mr. Hooda, thank you so much for joining us here on 5 Live. I have seen you through the course of the winter session turn up to Parliament with masks on, trying to raise the issue. Why have you failed in raising up the issue of pollution in Parliament today?
By the way, I think the question is not framed correctly. The question is why the Parliament did not discuss the issue today. And not just today. Why the Parliament has not discussed this issue in this session, and why the Parliament has not discussed this issue over so many years. And by the way, I must inform you that I have been putting a notice to the government since 2017 onwards. You can count the number of years, 9 years. Every session I have been putting up a notice to have a discussion on this issue. Not just a notice. In 2017, I also introduced a private member's bill called Clean Air Act, in which I had certain suggestions which I wanted to submit to the government. In terms of a legislation, I submitted that, but the government did not accept it. The minister said that we will not accept your private member bill, but we are going to have a national clean air plan. The problem, like you have been pointing, it's an extreme problem, and it is not a problem which can be wished away, and the government, why the government is not even having a discussion is beyond me. And if we are not if we are not able to discuss a people's problem like air pollution faced by so many vast millions of Indians in Indian Parliament, where am I supposed to take this problem? Should I take this problem to the American Senate? Should we be discussing it there? Why can't we discuss when the people in the stadiums are chanting AQI, AQI? Why the ruling party MPs inside Parliament are chanting BJP, BJP? Why can't this be a discussion? And I feel collectively, I'm one of the members of Parliament representing a constituency which completely falls in NCR. And today's Dainik Bhaskar report says that yesterday's AQI in my hometown of Rohtak made it the देश का ये लिखा है कि देश में रोहतक सबसे प्रदूषित, मतलब दिल्ली से भी ज़्यादा. दिल्ली yesterday was 334, रोहतक was 385. So it just
Mr. Hooda, I have to
shocks
ask
me
you
that
this. You are one of the few MPs. You're right that you've consistently raised the issue. You're also right that I see you every day, at least in Parliament, go with your mask, you're educating people, you're asking the government, you're urging them to take action. But why do you think it does not cut it with the government? They are also breathing the same air, right? Why do you think our top governing body are not bothered by it?
So I'll tell you what government has done, and there are 2-3 parts to this question, and if you're keen to understand, I'll tell you what's happening.
Please.
Number one, it's never been a priority with the government because it's not the most important political issue, as far as people are not voting on this issue, according to some of the political pundits who are advising, which is really shocks me. But anyway, when I see why I'll tell you, I'll go back where I started. 2017, I introduced the private member bill, and I've been raising it ever since. I had, my son was born in 2016, and that Diwali, I looked at the newspaper report, and that report said that, the next day to Diwali, anybody even the newborn would be smoking 30 cigarettes worth of, inhaling that much worth of pollution. So that shook my conscience. So I'm talking not just a Congress, a member of Parliament or a political party. I'm talking on behalf of all the parents, the fathers and mothers in Haryana, in Delhi, in NCR, other cities. And I'm also talking to you on behalf of those little children who don't have a voice either in your channel or even in the Parliament. So their voices should be heard by the... So after that, I started this. When I proposed a solution, and my solution was, I'll go back to my solution also. I had proposed that just like NCR Planning Board, there is a board called NCR Planning Board, which plans all the infrastructure projects within NCR, Haryana and Delhi, roads, highways, etc. And that board has a lot of funding. Budget is given. A similar board is constituted, which is chaired by the Minister of Environment as the chairman, overseen by the Prime Minister himself, with all the chief ministers as members of that board. Right now what happens is every winter, Delhi is blaming Haryana, Haryana is blaming Punjab, Punjab is blaming Aam Admi is blaming Congress, BJP. We are all blaming each other. And
no, but this year there is no blame game. This year there is no talk only. This year the government is behaving as if pollution does not exist.
I agree with you. So my point was that you have to have a board where all the chief ministers are members, so that nobody can pass on the blame to anybody else. And there is proper budget and proper plan. With proper plan, any pollution problem can be solved. Sure. In 1950s, there was I'll give you 3 examples. 1950s, London was the most polluted. There's a big thing called London smog. The London smog lasted for so many days in London. There used to be a talk that you go out with the white shirt, you come back with the black. So they were able to solve it. They had passed something called Clean Air, National Clean Air Act. My Clean Air bill was, I took a lot of things from the London Act. There are a lot of measures. Similarly, Mexico City 1992 had AQI touching 500 and 600. Of course, we have a little more even now. But Mexico City today has a AQI less than 50.
Yeah, we've
They were able
reported
to
on that,
solve
Mr. Hooda.
problem within a
I'm
period
totally
of
running out of time, which is why...
And Beijing.
It's China, it's Mexico City, it's London. There are enough things. Just last 10 seconds I have, very briefly.
Okay, so we need the parliament to discuss this. We need the Prime Minister and government to take ownership and come and present a plan to the nation that next 5 years we are going to solve the problem. We are going to go give this problem enough budget, and the monitoring committee has to constitute of all the affected states chief minister headed by the Prime Minister himself. And I am very confident that we will be able to solve the problem. But unless the problem is recognized by, if you are unable to recognize the problem and even don't have a discussion, and then forget about having a plan to solve it, next winter session, I am going to be seen again on your TV channel giving the same sermons.
Well, I think we should call the winter session a pollution session. We should dedicate a full session only to discuss this. And I really hope there are more MPs like you who are able to take that conversation forward. For the moment, thank you so much for joining us and for also being a constructive...
I have a suggestion for...
All right, completely out of time. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.